Hello there, and welcome to another episode of Cutting Through the Bullshit. I am your host, Dr. Stephanie Snyder, and I am a high performance mentor. Through my unique blend of strategy, mindset, and intuition, I help men and women to cut through the BS in order to create the life and business they desire. So, we're going to talk about starting where you are and with what you have. I was out on a run this morning and I was absolutely in the clouds, just running through a whole bunch of things in my mind that the downloads were not terribly prevalent this time. I did tap into it right towards the end because I was like, hey, I didn't get my ideas for my podcast today. Where are we at? And so the thing that came through right at the end was starting where you are. So oftentimes, and I've seen this in my own life as well as my clients, my kids, my friends, like a lot of us, we want to start, but we want to start with the best of the best thing, right? We want to start with the brand new car. We want to start with the best bike. We want to start with the greatest shoes. And we often limit ourselves from actually starting because we don't have the thing. We don't have the best quote unquote solution. So we'd rather not start. We're going to wait until we have the best solution before we actually start. And I was thinking about this today because when I went for my run, it was muggy and I couldn't wait to jump in my pool when I got home. And as I was taking off my shoes and my socks and getting ready to jump in the pool, because I jump in my workout gear. I'm not changing into a bathing suit. That's just full jump in. And as I'm jumping in, I thought, you know what? This is really cool that I get to jump into this pool now. Because a decade ago, we had one of those BJ's blow up pools that I think we spent $500 on or something, right? It wasn't a full, legit above ground pool. It was like one of those ones that comes in a tiny little box and you set it up in an hour kind of a thing. And I remember hopping in that pool after a workout or hosing myself down with just the hose at the end of a workout. And so it was just really cool to just know that I was grateful for it in all of the stages that it was. And now, we're in a space where we have this gorgeous in-ground pool. We're trying to decide what to do with the landscaping around it and all the things. But I was just reminded of how grateful I was during the process of it all. Because there have been times in my life where it's been, let's hurry up and get there. Let's hurry up and achieve this thing. Let's hurry up and just have the big, beautiful thing that you can be grateful for all of the steps along the way. And I was reminded of this when I went to hop in the pool today, that again, one of the reasons so many of us don't actually see something through is because we have this vision that we have to have this big, grand thing before we can ever get started. I started when I decided to do triathlons a few years ago, I started training on my beach cruiser. I had a 1-speed beach cruiser that was pink, had the banana seat, right? Had the little basket on it. That was how I rode a bike for the first couple of months that I was training for a triathlon. Seems crazy, right? But I knew that was my excuse. I knew my excuse was I can't do a triathlon because I don't have a road bike. And then I said, you know what? But I have a bicycle. So let me start with that. And it took a couple of months for me to save up and get a road bike. And then I got my road bike. And then then there was I need a better bike, a faster bike. I didn't. My road bike is sufficient. It works great. I will probably get on it in the next couple of weeks after my race this week. I'll get back into my triathlon trainings. But it's just so interesting that the thing that's stopping us is this tiny little excuse that we blow out of proportion, right? I don't have the right shoes. I don't have the right watch. I don't have the this. I don't have the that. You can start anything exactly where you are today. Anything. And the tiny little excuses, the tiny little things that are coming up are simply roadblocks. And when you can move through that, then when something bigger comes up, it doesn't derail you from the vision, right? The vision, I have this picture. Those of you on YouTube, you can see this. So years ago, we had wanted to do a fiberglass pool. And I cut out this picture of a pool, and it's been hanging here next to my desk for years now. And I was like, that's what I want. That's the pool. Now, the pool we have is a little bit different than what this pool actually looks like. But I could envision it. And last year when we got the whole process started, I would sit here at my desk and I would just envision the pool being in the backyard and what it would look like. And I can see almost the whole pool here from my desk. And I knew it was going to come to fruition. I wasn't worried about how long it was going to take. I knew it was going to come. And being able to trust in that timing and still make your progress towards it will get you everywhere. Legitimately everywhere. You do, what you need to do, and let divine magic show up and support you, right? I got a good little chuckle at this yesterday because we were supposed to have a lot of rain yesterday. We were actually supposed to have a lot of rain like all weekend. And it really didn't even rain that much. We got, dumped on periodically, but it wasn't a lot of rain. But I had grabbed a whole bunch of wildflower seeds that I had. And I threw them out amongst the trees where we had done the construction by the pool. All the dirt was, pulled up. And I was like, all right, let me just throw some seeds out here. I want some color over there. This is low maintenance. I don't really have to worry about it. If they come up, they come up. If they don't, they don't, right? Like I just had a ton of seeds and I was like, all right, let me just throw these seeds here, right? And so yesterday, now I threw them out, it was yesterday, Monday, I threw them out Sunday night because I was like, oh, it's going to rain. It's going to rain all day Monday. Let me just get the seeds out here. That way they can get wet, they can germinate, all things. Well, Monday I woke up and the sun was shining. And I was like, what is happening? So I waited a little bit. I got my workout done. I did a few things. And the sun was still shining. And I was like, oh, come on. I need it to rain. So I went out there totally frustrated and annoyed and like yelling at Mother Nature. Being like, why is the rain not coming? So I get the hose out there. I set up the sprinkler and I start to water the ground. I get the sprinkler set up in the perfect location that's going to hit all of the spots that I just threw seeds at. I'm going to let it water for 20 minutes, right? Not even 90 seconds later, it starts to rain. And I just thought to myself, okay, Steph, you did your part, and now God gets to show up and do his part. And it was just a funny little reminder of like, sometimes you do have to lead yourself. You've got to take the steps with where you are to prove that this is actually something that you want to do. The same is for my kids, right? I know that this is the process of how the universe works. And so there are times that I do the same sort of thing with my children. Listen, I will support you 100%. I will show up, but you've got to show up first. You've got to take the interest. You've got to take the first steps. And then I will show up and support you. I'm not going to just go out and buy you a brand new blah, 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 because you decided that you were interested in it for 3 minutes, right? Like, oh, I've got this really great idea, Mom. You should buy blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, I'm going to need you to be interested in more than 14 seconds in that thing for me to invest in it, right? Otherwise, we're just serial investors, right? So I'm sending you a whole lot of love. I hope that you have a beautiful rest of your day. And as always, be you, because the world needs more of you. Bye.